Good morning, it's Saturday the 15th of February 2014. Welcome along to this morning's live United Kingdom talk. Well, we're lucky to still... Oh, quick hello to Marge. Marge is first up with the messages this morning. Good morning, Marge, who sends me a picture of a little revolving sun. I haven't seen that icon before. Well, it's not... What's it called? Emocon, isn't it? It's like a little sun on the Skype revolving like that. Why is she writing by Skype? Because you can join in live by Skype this morning, boys and girls, or indeed by telephone as well, but I'll tell you about that later on. Okay, so good morning to Marge. Someone else is with us this morning. I think it's Wendy. Good morning, Wendy. She's with us this morning as well. Anyone else? It's nice for you to join us. We're lucky to be here. The wind last night. Now, I was very... Oh, by the way, I've got a lovely new shirt on today. I got this from Florida. It's a blue... Where's the little... Oh, yeah. No, it's not a blue. It's a pink and green Ralph Lauren shirt. Check this out. I just grabbed something from my cupboard quickly because I'm not known, for dressing up nicely. I've got to be honest. I tend to grab something quickly from the cupboard, and this is the one that come out, and I put it on. I thought, is this the one I got from Florida? And I thought I touched it, and you know it. Do you know what I mean? You know it's new, don't you? When you've got a new shirt and you touch it, you immediately know that the item has never been through a washing machine or been washed or anything like that. It's still crisp. One wash and they seem to lose their crispness, shirts, don't they? Is there a way around that, by the way? Perhaps you know. Can I make all my shirts like as if they've just come straight out of a shop, or do I have to buy a new one every time? Which I won't do, you know that. The only time I buy clothes is when I'm in the States and not being ripped off. I said that to you ever since I come back from Florida a few weeks ago. My nephew, bless his heart, Jimmy, who came on holiday with me, has been texting me this week like little bits of holiday stuff. And he texted me this week, do you know it's a month now since we came home? A month! Where did that go? Well, almost a month, isn't it? I think we came back on the... Was it the 22nd or the 23rd? Something like that. So I've got a nice crisp shirt on today. If you know how to keep shirts crisp or to make them crisp again... once they've been uncrisped, is that stand about right? Then do let us know. I've got an email address if you want to join in. Whether you're watching the show live or watching or listening to a recording, then you can always send in an email, boys and girls. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you're with us live, I shall tell you how you can contact me in a second. Sometimes people like to chat on the phone. Always like to chat away with people for 10 minutes or so, or you can chat by Skype as well. All that information's coming up a bit later on. But back to the weather. Yeah, last night I was fortunate enough not to have to go to work. They had a one-off event at the place I work on Friday nights. And I was going to go down to one of my ex-girlfriends from... yes, I have been out with girls as well, before I got on the other bus. It is true. People are always surprised when I tell them I had a girlfriend. Or people are even more surprised when I tell them that I was married once. Even I'm surprised. The fact that I was married once, believe me. But there you go, I've done it all. And now I got on the other bus and started dating boys after that and preferred that. But anyway, last night I was talking to an ex-girlfriend of mine, lovely girl, Fiona, who's just a couple of years younger than me. And I mentioned the fact that I was off on the Friday night now this week. Now, she's got a pub down there and they were having a Valentine's do. And she said, oh, you can come and be my DJ. No, I can't. Oh, no, you don't DJ for friends. Not unless you can absolutely help it. Never a good idea to DJ for friends. Because what happens, they won't like something or they'll have their idea. As the DJ, you've got your idea how the night should go. Right? As a manager, you've got your idea how the night should go. And with friends, they're much more likely to come up and say, oh, I don't like this you're playing. Even though you believe it's the correct music for the crowd, it may be that they're... See, so many managers make this mistake. You must never get your own preferences of music involved into what the crowd wants. I always listen to the crowd. I play generally what they ask me to play. So a lot of the time you've got a manager who's stuck in his or her youth. Now, in Fiona's case, you don't get me wrong, I've never worked for her, and this may well not have happened. But her youth would have been the 80s. Well, she'd kill me for telling you that, but it was. You know, well, 70s and 80s. 70s and 80s. Same as mine. 63, 73. I was 16 in 1979, right? So we're late 70s, early 80s. And that is by far the music I prefer. I love 70s music. Not rock. I love soulful 70s stuff like the Stylistics, rocky, more poppy stuff. ABBA. I love ABBA. Anything 70s like that. Detroit Spinners, I've been working my way back to... You see what I mean? And then into the 80s, the soul part of the 80s. Rufus and Chaka Khan, Loose Ends, Womack and Womack. I love all that stuff. But if I'm playing to a younger crowd, 18 to 30... they won't want that stuff. And I have to play, or in my mind, I should be playing what they want me to do. A lot of the time, managers don't see that. They come up maybe why some rap songs on or something like that by, I don't know, Jay-Z or something like that. I don't like rap. Okay, I won't lie to you. I don't like rap, and a lot of that new stuff, Jay-Z and all that business, can't stand it. But I have to play it, and I have to almost pretend that I like it. I try to give the crowd what they want. A manager, and quite often, the DJ is in between the manager and the crowd, and you're trying to please both. A good manager will keep his or her mouth shut and keep out the way and let me get on with the job. And if it all goes wrong, it's only my fault. Okay? Fair enough? But other managers, they come in and, I don't really like this. Well, it's not up to you. It's not for you to like, is it? It's for the crowd to like who are paying the money. That's my attitude. Now, with a friend as a manager, different thing altogether. Because I don't like this, Chris. And then you can feel, she's not going to be pleased or he's not going to be pleased. So that's why I don't like to DJ for friends or people I know that well, because of that. Unless they're coming out at this very moment, to places where I'm DJing it, and they see what I do, and that's it, and they want me to do the same thing wherever they are. But even sometimes that can go wrong. Say this person is at a nightclub and I'm DJing all the latest hits, and then they want me to DJ for their birthday, wedding, anniversary, engagement party, civil relationship affair, anything like that, bar mitzvah, first Holy Communion. Now, coming out of the club situation, going into a family situation, you can't do the same thing. They may think you're going to do the same thing, but you can't, because then you've got a very broad mixed age range at a wedding or something like that, and that can go wrong. So I really do not like DJing for friends. I really don't like doing that. As I say luck, as it's not really lucky for a lot of people whose homes were damaged last night, as luck would have it, I looked out the window, I had a little sleep yesterday afternoon, got up about 7:45 at 9. I thought, well, I'll have something to eat and I'll go down the pub and just to say hello. And I looked out the window. My God, the wind was unbelievable. The wind was unbelievable last night. I went through the storm in 1987. I don't know, some of you that might remember that. And that was bad. Last night was worse. It was worse. The trees outside my house, I'm completely surrounded by very tall pine trees, 2 to 3 times the height of my house. And pine trees, well, they're big long trunks, no leaves at the bottom, leaves in the sort of top third. I say leaves, needles, you know, with big floppy branches and that. And these trees were bent, they bend right over in the wind. And that's probably a good thing because none of them come down, which is I find that amazing, really, because pine trees, I looked it up on the internet, they actually have a very small root ball on the bottom. Okay, and you would think that a strong wind would take them over. Not a single tree down round here last night. And believe me, that storm went on and on. Usually you get a storm rolling, you know, you might get 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes of strong winds and rain lashing against it, and then it's gone. You know, then it's gone. It's like that. The weather in Florida is very much like that. You know, you can be there in brilliant hot sunshine, and within the space of seconds, this wind comes from nowhere, blows the trees over, followed very quickly by clouds, thunder, lightning, bang, bang, pours down with rain. 10 minutes later, it suddenly disappears and the sun comes out again. And it's like nothing ever happened. The weather in Florida is amazing. Well, last night, you know, here it's not dissimilar, although the storm will come and it'll be around for, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes, and then it'll move away and just leave clouds. Last night, this storm went on and on and on. As I say, I got up round about 7:45. I looked out the window and I thought, oh, you know, should I be going out this? And I turned on the news and they said, please don't travel unless absolutely necessary. I made up my mind then, well, I'm not going to go down to there. So I sent her a message and said, you know, you surely can't expect me to come out in this weather. So I didn't. You know, it wasn't don't get me wrong, it wasn't a work booking. She got a DJ down there. Her husband does the DJing. She thought I was going to do a guest appearance, so to speak. And that was about the all of it. And the wind went on until, well, I went to bed about 3 o'clock in the morning. I watched a lot of telly last night, got a lot of paperwork done, had a bit of a clean up in the living room because I'm a messy git. I really am. You know, papers all over the place and things like that downstairs. So I cleared all that up last night. I went to bed about 3 o'clock and it was still howling outside. The intensity of the wind didn't seem to have died down at all to me. Indeed, for those 7 hours that I was awake last night, I popped outside a couple of times and I was actually scared standing outside. I was a bit worried out there because that wind was so strong. So strong. Anyway, got up this morning. You know, oh, is that clock crooked behind me? Does that look crooked? Is that crooked? No, it's not. I think it's the picture. Got up this morning about 9 o'clock, I think it was this morning, and there's nothing there. Bright sunshine outside and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful out there. I mean, it really is. A little bit of wind, but it's like it's not happened. When I saw the news this morning, terrible. Lots of houses without power down here in the south. The people flooded. Well, that just goes on, and it's just awful for them. Someone killed by masonry falling down in central London. Apparently, some woman was sitting in her car and a building collapsed onto the car. In London, in the centre of London, Euston. And I know the road because I drove down that quite often. And someone else, I think, killed by a falling tree. Didn't he go out into his garden to do something and a tree fell down on him? Awful. Awful, awful, awful last night. The worst storms I've ever seen. And we've really been battered here in the UK recently. I'm sure you've seen it all on the news. I don't know if that sort of news makes it to America. Does it, Marge? Do you know about the storms we've been having here? Anyway, so now the weathermen say that's it. It should calm down now. And I wonder, is this the state of things to come? Are we going to have this every year now? With this global warming and climate change and all that business? Do you think we're going to get this more often? They were saying on the television, that was hurricane force winds along the coast. There was one picture on the news I saw, and there were these people standing outside their houses quite near to the coastline. And suddenly this massive surge of water just came in across the houses and across the road. I thought, my God, why are you standing there? How stupid can you be? They're standing outside their house and this water just comes straight towards them. It's like a big wave. Say you're, walking down the street and a wave comes towards you. It was just like that. Really, really scary. Really scary. Marge says she knows about the storms, but we need that water here with the drought. Yeah, in where Marge lives in Oklahoma, USA. She's a regular listener and viewer to the show. She's got in the middle of a drought at the moment. There's other people in the States who have got terrible ice storms and all that business. And the snow, of course, in the States as well. Very bad indeed. Awful, awful. Anyway, I hope you're all right where you are. Is there any trees around down where you are in the UK? Do let us know on the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right. Now, just to let you know, if you're with us live, then it's just coming up to 18 minutes past 12 on Saturday, the 15th of February 2014. If you're with us live, you can indeed join in live, either by Skype. My Skype username is Chris Reardon, CHRISREARDON. All right, that's the Skype username, CHRISREARDON. Or there's a local London phone number as well, 020 8133 6358. All right, once again, that's a local London number, 020 8133 6358. Thank you much to Mark. Mr. Whittle, good morning, Mark, who sends in a little link for earth-friendly spray starch. Now, what is this? This is some sort of starch. What do you do with that then? Non-aerosol fabric treatment. Spray starch is an all-natural, non-aerosol light starch. Revives fabric for crisp, fresh, static-free clothing. Cotton blossom essential oil adds pleasure to your ironing. Trouble is, Mark, I don't iron. Oh my God, imagine getting that ironing out. I don't understand these people. My sister's one, my niece, they iron sheets. Why would you iron a sheet? You know, you put it on the bed, you get in and it creases up again. What is that? Will someone please explain to me the point of ironing sheets? I don't get it. Why would you iron sheets? I mean, I can understand people that iron shirts. I can't be bothered to iron shirts either. I shouldn't really tell you this. You know my mate Ron. I give him to him. He irons them for me, shirts and things like that. Yeah, sometimes. And some things he takes down the dry cleaners for me. I usually manage not to have to pay him. He puts it in with his stuff. Thank you for that, Mark. The spray starch there. Oh, Marge says it's sunny and 70 degrees Fahrenheit there, 21 centigrade. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? She also likes 70s music. Do you like the Grateful Dead? Never heard of them. Sorry, never heard of the Grateful Dead, Marge. All right, my darling. Good morning to Sky, who's in London, who's looking forward to being at a karaoke night that I do next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday in Hammersmith at the Laurie Arms. So good morning to Sky there. Let's have a look here. I think Marge says, I think you have more lady fans than men. I think you're probably right there. All right, where are you replying to now, Marge? Hang on a minute, you're on Google and then you're on Facebook. One place, please. One place for your comments. I can't cope with comments coming all over the place. Just keep them to one place. Oh, what are you doing? That's why I miss things. Or Marge was moaning last week. Were you moaning this week? What was it this week? Oh yes, that I hadn't liked a comment that you put on Facebook. Well, if you just put one on now and again rather than 20, then I might have a chance of noticing them, dear. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to keep up when there's all these things appearing all over the place. Some on the email, and then some on the Skype, and then some on the Facebook, then on Twitter, then on Google+. I don't know where to look anymore. It's too much coming at me. Calm down. One place. Where are you going to comment? Well, we're live on Skype and then maybe on the email. But like when you're liking lots of stuff, it's difficult to keep up with what's going on around you. All right, my darling. Chris is sharing me on all her formats. I know. We like formats, don't we? I've got Twitter, but I don't really use it. I must say, I just tend to use the Google. Is it Google Circles? Is that what it's called? Google Plus. That I have no idea what that's all about. I just put my stuff on there and I forget about it. So what happens, for example, Marge, with the shows, is that once I'm doing them, I hit start. Okay, and then automatically a link will go to Google Plus or Twitter or Facebook. Now, I'm not necessarily looking at any of these things, but the show is advertised on there. So it's not so much a two-way thing. The two-way thing is really on Facebook, but then again, when there's so many, like, you know, I know sometimes when I put photos on there and you like, I can't keep up with it all. It's too much for a poor old brain to do. Oh dear, I've lost 2 people this week as well. Ex-customers of various places I worked. A lot of people dying at the moment, which is very sad, really. Someone's mum, her name was Jane Hill, mother of Ross, who's a youngish lad who comes down to the karaoke. I used to do a bingo night at a place called the Golden Lion in King's Cross. It's not there anymore. That closed down. Funnily enough, a lot of places seem to close down where I work. I don't know why that is. Anyway, so Ross used to come there, and his mum. Now, his mum was deaf. And we eventually, on this particular bingo night, we had a large deaf group come down there. Because it was very visual, right? I would push a button and my bingo was connected. It was just a laptop and I had this program on there, okay? And the laptop was connected to TV screens all around the pub. And what would happen is that I'd push a button and the number would come up on the TV screen. So the deaf people loved it, right? And eventually we had this large deaf group that came week in, week out. And basically they paid £1 for a bingo ticket. You could have 1, you could have 2, you could have 3, you could have as many as you want. They're £1 each, okay? Most of the deaf group had 2 each, so it's £2 each, right? That money, all of it, would go towards prizes, okay? I didn't take that money. I was paid a wage by the pub, by the venue, okay? So I got a wage from there. The money which I collected, because I never trust anyone else with money. I mean, I really don't. You know, you start having someone else, oh, can you collect the money from... There's always that chance they're going to dip their hand in, and then that's less prizes for people. So I used to collect all this money in, and then there would be these prizes. And eventually I had an entire stage full of prizes. I have got photographs of this somewhere. And if I'd known I was going to go along this line tonight, I would have dug one out for you. But you never know where this show is going to go. We always seem to meander off course somehow, don't we? You know, I've got all these things written down here, emails. I've done none of them. And now we're talking about bingo, which I never ever intended to do. That's the format of this show, innit? We go all over the place. So, as I say, a stage full of prizes, and they would play the bingo, and because the numbers would come up like that, and they'd put their hand up or shout something of house or something like that, you know, anything they would shout out to stop the numbers, check the card, they'd win a prize. Simple as that. And Jane was one of the deaf group that came down. She was a lovely lady, very, very quiet and easygoing, shall we say. And her son was Ross. Anyway, I got a message from Ross yesterday. It was actually that her mum had died. His mum had died. She was having an asthma attack, and then the ambulance come to take her to hospital because she had breathing difficulties. And then she had a heart attack in the ambulance, unfortunately, and died. So best wishes to Ross. You know. I always say this, and that is a fact. When someone is ill like that, and then they've gone, there is no more pain. And I believe they become spirits. Okay, I think death. You do become spirits, whether you're religious or not. I believe that you become some sort of spirit. I think you carry on. I really do believe that. So that's one lady that died, and she was nice. She was always very, very nice to me. Very nice to me. And then blow me down, the day before, one of my friends died. I haven't spoken to him for quite a few months now, but he used to come into the Black Cap where I work on Friday nights. Now, he was a regular customer there. 40 years old. 40. And he was outside a cash point machine. Okay? Using the cash point. Had a heart attack and dropped down dead. 40 years old. Unbelievable. Now, I know he liked the old smoking. I think he smoked a lot. But nevertheless, 40. That's all he was. 40 years old. Just going about his daily business. Dropped down dead. So you just never know, do you? That's why you must be trying to enjoy life to the full, being nice to people and all that. I don't know. You just never know. So a couple of people I know had died this week. I actually thought I was going to lose the cat this week as well. Katie was very ill during the week. I left her as normal in the morning, about 11:30, to go for my daily swim up at the Hilton Hotel. And she was fine. She jumped on my lap and I give her a little stroke. I said, right, I'll see you later. She jumped off my lap and off she went. So I've gone swimming. As I've come out of the swimming pool, the phone's rang and it's my mate Ron. He said, oh, do you want to come and have a look at a high point at all these floods? Because we've got a lot of floods around by the Thames. Indeed, about 20 minutes away from me, we've got a lot of flooding around there. I said, well, where are we going? And apparently it's an RAF memorial thing, which is high on top of a hill, and you go up there and you can have a look down over London. So we went up there. The most fantastic view, I tell you, of London. You can see it all from this point. And I don't know why many people don't really know. Well, I suppose it's not advertised because you don't want all sorts going up there and desecrating the memorial. And very, very sad, thousands and thousands of names have been carved into these stones of people that died in the war. And you really do feel quite emotional when you see all these young, and they were mostly young men who died in the war. Thousands of them all carved in this beautiful memorial. So we went up the top there and had to look at this flood, and that was that. Then we had something to eat, and then on the way home I'm sitting in the car and he's driving, and I got this text message from my neighbour telling me that the cat was screaming out in pain. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, okay, I'll come straight home. Anyway, I said, how long's she been doing that for? And they said, oh, you know, about half an hour. She went out, thought there was a cat fight, my lovely neighbour next door, Karen. And this cat screaming, she went there, and she said she'd stay with it until I get there. So I put the phone down, all worried, and I thought, oh, that sounds quite serious. I'll ring the vet immediately. So I rang up the vet. Hello, I need to bring my cat in. She's screaming out in pain. And the lady in the vet, she said, well, I'm afraid the vet's gone home today. No problem at all if I call him back in, but you will have to pay extra for a call out. I said, that's fine, yeah, if you could arrange that. I'll be about 45 minutes. She said, oh, okay. She said, are you sure you want to arrange this now? Or do you want to get home and wait till you see what the cat's like? I said, no. Call her in now, then everything will be ready when we get there. Okay, Mr. Reardon, put the phone down. Anyway, so we got home, and there was my cat outside the front door screaming in pain. She was screaming. She wasn't able to stand up. She was, but very, very wobbly. So I picked her up straight away and took her down to the vet, who looked at her, took her in immediately. And I can't remember what she said. Some disease beginning with V. vestibular, or it wasn't vascular, vestibular, something like that. And her eyes, which I hadn't noticed when I picked her up, were darting from side to side very quickly, like that. And he said, has she been run over at all? I said, no, nothing like that. So she went through the various things it could be. The worst would be something growing on her brain, which they can't do anything about. And she did say that. Anyway, so they took her in there and then, and rung me at 7 o'clock. I said, right, well, she's quiet now. She's been sleeping all afternoon, so we're going to leave her. They put her on various drugs and drip and things like that, and they said hopefully it'll be an infection. I'm sorry, I've got a really itchy nose today. Don't know why. Just on the side there, really itchy nose. And hopefully it will be that. Well, the next morning they rung up and they had a vast improvement. Her eyes are still slightly darting from side to side, but she's much better now, and she's standing up and walking around a little bit better. Okay, what shall I do? We'll ring you later. Okay, so the afternoon came. How is she? And they said, much better. Her eyes are still not quite right, but we'd be happy if you wanted to take her home now. And I'm like, just sit with her tonight. I said, right, well, I'm working tonight. I'm not quite sure what to do. Okay, well, we'll keep her here tonight again. Come in early tomorrow morning, and I'm sure that'll be all right. And then if you spend the day with her, then by the night time, vestibular disease. Thank you, Wendy. That's exactly what she had. Vestibular disease, which can be a lot of different things, and it can come and go. You know, indeed, as luck would have it, it's gone. It went. I've got a few more pills to give her and that, but she's a lot better now, the cat, and I'm so pleased because she is my little friend. Thank you, Wendy. Vestibular disease. That's exactly what she had. That's what the doctor said. So I've got a couple of pills to give her, which is okay. She's much better now. She's downstairs. I've got a cat tray in case she can't make it outside. The vet did say not to let her out, but she'd been at the door, so I thought I'll let her in the back garden. And she's gone out there, had a little wee, and come back in again a couple of times now. So I think that's all right. I've got a cat tray as well in the house in case she can't make it, in the kitchen by the front door. And various drugs. I've got 2 lots of drugs to give her, pills, and she's never really been a problem taking pills. I've kind of got the hang of doing that. What I do is kind of put 2 fingers in her mouth, right? And like that, one either side. Her mouth opens. I've got my arm around her legs as well, so she can't scratch me. And then I get the pills. I put my 2 fingers in right down the back, and I let go, and you can feel her swallow. So I've never ever had a problem once I got used to it, giving her pills. You remember the last time when she was ill, just over a year ago now. But the other thing I've got to give her is a liquid. And it's like a replacement salt, I think it is, in there. And he did tell me she won't like that. He said, don't put it in the food because she won't go near it. He says, the only way you can do this, and I've got a little bowl and a little syringe, and I have to load it up with 2 ml of this liquid stuff. Right? And, it's much more difficult than giving pills. I'm telling you that now. And you've got to open them out and put this thing in there and squirt it in. And she goes like, and then jumps off. And then I quickly go to my cupboard and give her treats. So that's the situation with the cat. And she's much better now. I haven't got many more pills to give her. I think just 1 or 2 more days worth. And then that's the end of it. So hopefully she'll be all right again. All right. Marge wants to know about this monkey behind me. Okay, this monkey, because of course if you're listening you won't see this. By the way, if you're a listener and you ever want to watch, all the links are there, and you can always find the newest videos, and indeed all the old ones, at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and there you'll see all the audio and the video of each of the shows. You can choose whether you want to watch or listen as well. So I have behind me a little monkey with a hat on, and his hat's fallen off. What's the story of this? I've got something else to show you in a minute, Marge, as well. Right, well, this monkey about 2 years ago, I wanted to take my nephew, Jimmy, on his first plane flight, because he'd never been on a plane before. So I booked up tickets to go to Glasgow and back from Luton Airport with British Airways. I think it was Luton. Or was it Heath? It doesn't matter anyway. So we went from the airport up to Glasgow and back. We only there for a few hours. You know, the day out wasn't so much going to Glasgow. The day out was going on a plane. So that's what we did. And my sister came as well. She'd never been on a proper plane either. So it was all very nice. And he was very scared on the plane going up there. I mean, really scared. He bless his heart, he got up after the plane started moving, and he said, "Oh no, I can't go. You know, I can't go." He said, "I'm getting off." And I went, "Well, you can't." And then the steward came down. Everything in right? So I saw my nephew's very nervous, and he was really good. He crouched. And the BA staff are fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. They always are. I've never ever had reason to complain about British Airways staff. They're fantastic. Not keen on the food in the business class. Really not keen on it. It's all a bit poncy. And I've told them before, I don't like the food in here. You know, but that's just one of those things. So we went up to Glasgow, and he carried on this flight, and he got off at the other. He closed all the shutters when we took off, so we couldn't see out. It's honest, he did. So we got off at Glasgow, and one of the shops we went in was Build-A-Bear. Those trousers are falling down here. Hang on a minute. Those little trousers are falling down. Hang on. How do I get those up? Well, maybe they're supposed... Oh, no, they're supposed to be halfway down his arse, aren't they? Oh, sorry, bum. Am I allowed to say arse? Oh, it's all the same thing. Hang on, look, these trousers are falling down there. Just a minute. I'll try and get these back up there. It's the tail. I think the elastic's gone. After that, he's got a fat bastard like me again. So this is the bear. One of the things we did in Glasgow, we went into this Build-A-Bear shop, and there you choose your sort of bear and you make it. So we chose this bear, which is like, for those of you just listening, it's brown with a little sort of beige coloured face. Pretty little thing it is. And you go and stuff it, okay? So you put it on this big machine that's got all this stuffing swirling around inside it. You put the tube in there and it stuffs the bear, okay? And then you choose little clothes for it. So this bear it's got shoes, okay? It's got little shoes on there. He's got little jeans that, you know, don't go quite far all the way down to his feet. He's got a red like vest type thing on and a little red hat. And you make this yourself. And each item, so they've got all these different things that you can buy for the bear. Various different clothes. So my nephew and my sister made this for me as a way of sort of saying thank you for taking us on the planes of Glasgow. But what you don't realise is how much it's costing you. Right? And separately... Okay, 1 minute. Let me just do it. Separately, the items are not particularly expensive. But when you get to the till, you realise that bear has cost you about 40 quid. You know, $65. Which I think quite shocked my sister. And I said to her, "Oh, do you want some more money?" No, I'm all right. She says, I bought some money out, so we want you to have this. So my nephew... and my sister had that made for me. So that's the story of that bear behind me. And it sits there. It's usually somewhere in the house. Sometimes it's in my living room. Now, Marge, you also wanted to see a picture, didn't you? And I'm not sure which picture it was. It was either the picture of myself and my nephew on Skegness Beach, okay? Which I don't recommend anyone going there. What a dump. It's an absolute dump, Skegness. I mean, it really is. You've never seen how so many chip shops and ice cream shops next to each other in your life. You know, and it's got this massive fun fair, which, don't get me wrong, you know, it's very popular. It's packed with people, and that's my problem. It's packed with people. It's just not my cup of tea at all, Skegness, and it's not warm. It ain't. You go out to any of those beaches up north, they're never warm. All right, so it's either that one, Marge, or is it this one, which is a picture of the London skyline as it would have been in the 70s. Is that the picture you mean? Because I'm not sure which one it is. If it's this one, then the story behind this picture, this is an old ITV logo. ITV is one of the TV stations here in the UK. It used to be split up into 15 separate little companies, one of which was Thames Television. Thames Television was the London weekday television company. Okay? I think this is probably the one that you want. And this was their logo. And what would happen, across the middle would be the word Thames. All right? For those of you just listening, within this picture, we got pictures. We have it's kind of a collage of many pictures. We have Big Ben in the picture. We have the Post Office Tower. We have St Paul's Cathedral. And many other things on there. And that's what it is. It's a collage of different parts of London. I mean, you wouldn't go along the Thames, right, and see it as it is. All these pictures are parts of London that have been placed within this one picture. And this was the old Thames Television logo in the 70s and early 80s, without, or most of the 80s, without the word Thames going across the middle. It does say Thames. Thames on the middle. Okay, so they are the two pictures that were hanging up on the wall in the hallway, but they're not hanging up there now. Beautiful picture, and I found this picture on the internet, and I've always liked it. And my brother-in-law at the time were brother-in-law at the time and my sister were making the canvas pictures, so you send them a photograph and they make a canvas out of it, and that's what that is. All right, so I hope that clears it up for you there, Marge. Wendy says my mum and stepdad had the chip shop in Skegness years ago. Well, which one? You know, there's so many of them down there. But they are next to each. That's what I don't get in Skegness. There's chip shops, like 5 or 6, and they're all next to each other. Why do you need so many chip shops? Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of chips, as you can see from my waist. Big fan of chips and ice creams, but they're literally next to each other. Chip shop, chip shop, chip shop, chip shop. It's unbelievable. Oh dear me. Oh, that is a monkey, by the way. This bear is a monkey. Well, it's a monkey bear, isn't it? I mean, it's a stuffed bear. It's a stuffed monkey. That's what it is. It's a stuffed monkey. Alrighty, let's do some. Let me just check for some messages there. No, it's not a monkey. Oh, is it not a monkey? What is it then? Oh, Mark reckons it's not a monkey. Well, it was a bear shop. You know, it was a bear shop. Looks like a monkey to me. But it's very special because my nephew and my sister made it to me. You never chuck those things away, do you? You know, things that children have made for you. I've got a picture somewhere downstairs that Evie made. That's my nephew and his wife's daughter. Alrighty. Let's do some emails, boys and girls. And hello to young Brandon. Oh, hang on. Does my ball stop turning? Oh, it's all right. Oh, disaster struck there. I thought for one moment my mirror ball was not turning. Now, if you're wondering why I keep looking away, people often say, well, why don't you keep looking away from the camera? Because I have to do everything here. You know, there's things flashing up on computer screens next to me. I have to check for messages. People get very upset if I don't read their messages. Especially Marge, don't you, Marge? Brandon, who's in the People's Republic of Croydon. Never ever go to Croydon, boys. What a dump. Don't go to Croydon. Okay? Do not go to Croydon. Hello, Chris. Here is a topic for this week's show to ask your listeners and viewers and discuss. Do you have the shower curtain in or outside the bath? If you have one, that is. I beg your pardon, Brandon. A shower curtain? God's sake. Oh, of course you're in Croydon, aren't you? A shower curtain? Excuse me, I have a cubicle. Yes, I have a shower. It's no curtain, dear. It's like a 3-star hotel. I mean, what is your house like, for Christ's sake? A shower curtain? I've never heard anything like it. And you know the audacity you have to ask such a question to me, dear. A shower curtain? I have a large cubicle. No, it's not a little cubicle. Not something you get out of B&Q. I'll get 5 people in that shower I've got in that bathroom. Thank you very much. I have a lovely... And it's not plastic. No, it's glass. I have a glass shower cubicle. Very large. 5 people could get in that if I wanted them to. Shower curtain. I've never had anything like it. Dear me. Anyway, Brandon goes on to say, I was wondering this question the other day while taking a shower. I have mine on the outside as I feel having it on the inside makes me claustrophobic. I just put a small towel down on the floor to act as a bath mat to attract all the water. Yeah, that's the only thing, Brandon. If you have one of these shower curtain type things, I mean, I've never had one myself, but as I did physics, I will understand these things. It's got to be on the inside, because if you have it on the outside, the water is going to drip outside the shower tray, isn't it? You've got to have it on the inside. You must have it on the inside. The only thing is, if it's a very small shower, and judging from some of your emails, Brandon, I'm just imagining it's the smallest shower in the world that you've got there, dear. And if it's small and you get close to it, it can stick to you. Oh, that is so annoying, isn't it? Oh, I've had it in hotels. I've had it in hotels where they have these so-called shower curtains where you move around and the blooming thing sticks to you. Does that happen to anyone else? Oh, I hate that, don't you? Shower curtains that stick to you. Mark says he has his on the inside as otherwise water will run onto the floor. Of course it will, yeah, Mark. Yes, I know. Brandon, I can't believe you have the shower curtain on the outside. It must be like a lake in your house. Shower curtain. And here is another to tie in with the same topic. Do you have a bath or shower? I personally, Brandon says, I personally have a showers. I think they're better as they are more economical and you feel more clean and fresh. Well, Brandon, I do not have a bath. I got rid of my bath about 15 years ago. I don't like the thought of laying in dirty water. How can you get clean? And if you want to get clean, then you get out. A lot of people, some people, they have a bath and then they have a shower. What's the point of that? What is the point of that? Please, someone tell me now. Having a bath and then a shower. Well, you have the shower to wash off the dirty water. So why have the bath in the first place? Nope, I just have a shower, Brandon. I'm glad you just have a shower as well. More economical. You just imagine it. Sitting there in all that dirty water. You know. Maybe you haven't wiped certain parts of your body properly after perhaps you've used the toilet or something like that, and then you go in the water and sit in it. Oh no, oh, it made me feel ill. Oh God, how awful. He says, I know these random questions, but they are questions to ask. Once again, I'm glad Katie is back home again and well. Kind regards, Brandon, a loyal Chris Reardon viewer. Thank you, Brandon. So there we are, that's our information for you there. Oh my God, Wendy has a shower curtain. You snob. Inside, Brandon. Oh my God, Wendy, do you have a shower curtain? Or you must get a cubicle, dear. a glass. Don't get a plastic one. They're a nightmare to clean, and you can scratch them. So easy to scratch, dear plastic. You must get a glass cubicle, Wendy. Oh, I can't believe we have people with shower curtains watching this show. That has worried me. That has really worried me. But do make sure, even Wendy says, you've got to have that shower curtain inside, Brandon. Do you shower a lot? I rarely use my cubicle here, actually, because I have a shower up at the swimming pool. What happens usually in the morning, I have breakfast, then I go up to the swimming pool, have a swim, and then have a shower up there, and I do my shaving and all that there. Especially if I've got a water meter, dear. We don't want to have to use our water unless we absolutely have to. Thank you very much. Oh, God. So bad. Let me see now. Hello to CW in Victoria, Australia. Hello, Chris. Sorry, I'm writing to you so late to wish you a happy birthday your way. Oh, well, thank you. Well, better late than never, CW. My birthday is on the 12th of Feb, so you've just had that now, haven't you? A couple of days ago. Happy birthday. All right, Chris, happy birthday, CW. Right now, we've had some really bad bushfires, and in the same town that one lives. Still listening to the radio and looking online to see if we are still safe. You are still there, I'm sure. You're still there. Just wondering for you, what was your best part of your holiday to America? Well, the best part of my holiday would be taking my nephew. That was the best part of it. It was the best time I think I've ever had on a holiday since I was adult. You know, not including child holidays with my mum and dad. It was absolutely the best holiday I've ever had, having to look after someone. Even though he's 16, you've still got to make sure he's all right, you know. They think they're adults, don't they? 16, 17. Oh, I'm a big man now. No, you're not. I don't mind you thinking like that, but actually you're not. You know, someone still has to be there. And it was a completely different thing and better. I really enjoyed putting someone else first. And I made sure I tried to, I hope I did anyway. I tried to make sure I did that all the time. So that was the best part of the holiday. If you mean the best thing we did on holiday, for me, it was seeing, there were so many different things. I mean, going into a restaurant and sitting there opposite my nephew and having a meal with him every single night. You know, bringing him in with a cup of tea in the morning. Just walking around, going shopping. We had a great time shopping. My niece says, oh, you're going to hate going shopping with Jimmy. He's so fuzzy. But actually, we were quite matched going shopping. We were. The show Fantasmic in Disney World. That would be the highlight of all the things we did for me. Not sure what it was for him. Possibly the helicopter ride might have been his highlight. We did his helicopter ride. Oh, we had such a good time. Chris, I can't tell you what a good time I had there. I really can't. It was just fantastic. For me, it was the show Fantasmic. Have a look on YouTube. If you type in Fantasmic HD, you should find it on there. Absolutely astounding show. Also, which do you think was your nephew's favourite part of it all? Now, I'm not quite sure. I think probably it'll either be Fantasmic, the helicopter ride, or shopping. One of those three. I must find out from him, actually, and ask him. Perhaps I'll send him a little message now. 1 minute. He might be around now. I don't know. Or he might be still at work at this time. He works doing cars. You know, if they got dents, he does that. He fixes those. There we are. One of my listeners wants to know what your fave part of the holiday was. There we are. Might try and get him on here one day. So there we are. That's from Chris in Victoria, Australia. Thank you, Chris. Lovely to hear from you, sir. I know we only hear from you a couple of times a year. About 4 times a year. That's all you ever write to me now, isn't it? Hello to Millie in Minnesota, who says, just checking in to see if you're okay doing this awful weather. My mum sends her love, and she and my auntie, as well as myself, are looking forward to seeing you on the 7th of April, because Millie's coming over here for a little holiday. So that's great as well. Yes, we're just about here. We're just about here. Thank you very much to Marge. Says, since you missed my Facebook Valentine's, here's a handmade one with my Incredimail. Looking forward to the show today, your cyber friend Marge. And she sent me, you can't really see it, but I printed it off in black and white, little love hearts and things like that. I didn't get anything at all, of course, for the post yesterday. I haven't had for years, don't expect to ever get anything on Valentine's Day, ever again. And Marge also sends an email who says, hi, I wonder, have you ever met anyone you thought was female and yet they were male and vice versa? Yeah, all the time. Oh, my nose is so itchy. What does it mean, itchy nose? I'm going to just look that up. What does itchy nose mean? Because that means something, doesn't it? What does itchy nose mean? Just for fun. Just for fun. I heard it means someone is thinking of you. I'm 58 and no. It means you're going to have a fight. It means you're going to have someone's thinking about you. Oh, lots of it. No, I don't know. Ask.com. Let's try ask.com. An itchy nose is a silly superstition that means someone is thinking about you. It means someone's going to get a surprise. Oh. Wonder who's going to be outside the front door when I open it. How exciting. Do you think it might be Cristiano Ronaldo? Someone like that? Marge says, I got confused yesterday in my local food store. I was waiting in line to purchase... So in my local feed store, I was waiting in line to purchase some hen, scratch and dog food for my animals. A rather pleasingly plump person was ahead of me, dressed in rather unkempt attire. But since we're a farming area, most times people do dress like this a lot, and most don't really notice. As this person paid for their purchase, the old gentleman who owns the feed store said, "Thank you, sir." The person got rather irate and said, "I'm not a sir," and handed him the money, and before leaving said to the feed store owner, "Thank you, madam." This person got very upset with the store owner not recognising her to be a she, and I also thought it as a he as well, because this person had more hair on her chin than I do under my arms. Oh, how awful. You'd think these people would know how to shave, wouldn't you? Her hair was cut short, wearing a baseball cap with ragged pants and a coat on. If she doesn't want people thinking her a boy, why does she dress like this? Well, some people do, though. I mean, I see it all the time. Especially in London. Sometimes it's difficult to work out whether it's a boy or a girl. I hope, incidentally, you can tell that I am a boy or a man. You can tell that, can't you? I mean, it's okay to dress like you want, but maybe not be rude in return for someone making an honest mistake. I wonder what makes a woman have a beard like that. Hormones, do you think? Yeah, I've seen that before. Some women have hair growing, don't they? I think as people get older as well, like I've seen people's nans with hairs, not beards. I think there's a difference between beards growing and a hair. I mean, this is a beard growing hair. I didn't have a shave this morning. I have one. Listen. If you listen on the microphone, listen. Okay, that's my chin. Now, if I use the back of my hand, which is smooth, different. Listen. Right, listen again. Chin, hand. See, completely. Okay, smooth hand I've got. I don't use a Trixo or anything like that. No. Have you ever made a mistake on a person's gender like that? Yes, I have. A few times. A few times. Thank you, Marge. Finally today, I'm pleased to let you know my Barry Manilow tickets for the 2 concerts in May that I'm going to see, and I'm taking my niece to one of them and my 2 aunts to another one. 2 of my aunts, Auntie Rainey and Auntie Brenda, to bring them into the Manilow fold of fans. I got an email yesterday, Valentine's Day. This is my Valentine's letter, you see. This is it. And I'm quite happy with this. I am quite happy with this. Just a second. Let me just do something there. That's it. It says, your ticket order for 1 or more of Barry Manilow's show in the UK this May is finally ready to be dispatched. I mean, the news doesn't get any better than this, dear. I'm telling you now. If you need to change your delivery address, please let us know by Monday, February the 17th, so we can update our records. If your address hasn't changed, do nothing, sit back and keep your eyes peeled for the tickets. Fabulous news. May and Barry will be here before you know it. Kind regards. And that's from Scott at Front Row Manilow customer service. So I'm very, very pleased about that. Very, very pleased indeed about that. Marge says, itchy nose means company is coming. Oh, that's quite possible. Quite possible. Someone is... I hope so. I hope so, because it's about time someone came into my life, don't you think? Anyway, that's it today. Thank you much for joining us this morning, boys and girls. If you're just a listener, I'd be interested to know, if you've never watched the show and you just listen, can you drop us an email? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I'll tell you for why. Because doing the audio only version of this show is extra work, and I'm trying to work out how many people actually just listen to the show. Maybe you download it onto one of those memory sticks, or you put it on a CD or something like that, and then you play it in the car on your way. As indeed I do with a lot of podcasts. I download them and I play them in the car on the way to work or wherever I'm going or something like that. Do you just listen to the show? If so, I'd like to hear from you. Please send us an email. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is for your emails, boys and girls. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you'd like to join us live, then we do a live video show every Saturday morning at 12 o'clock UK time. You can find that by going to this link on Saturdays at 12 o'clock UK time. All right, youtube.com/user/Chris Reardon UK/live. Now that's quite a lot to remember. If you can't remember that lot, it's much easier if you go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Look at the top there, the top post, okay, which will today it will say Saturday the 15th of February. I keep thinking it's November. Why? Saturday the 15th of February 2014. And there you will see a link to the live shows. And just copy that, okay? Wendy, can't wait for her ticket. Wendy's tickets are coming as well this week, aren't they, Wendy? Time for me to go, boys and girls. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Don't forget, we've still got the daily little short videos that I do. Every day, a very short video, maybe a couple of minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes long. And you can find those at youtube.com/ Chris Reardon, isn't it? UK? Yeah. That's it, yeah. youtube.com/ Chris Reardon UK. You have a lovely day and a lovely week. No more wind, just a little bit more rain. See you soon. Bye-bye.